The Manuscript of Survival, Part 420. June 19, 2014. As you have already taken into account, these shifts and changes are indeed an ongoing process now, as there are no discernible pauses in between the separate fluctuations of energy, and so, what you may sense as a small lull in the proceedings is simply that infinitesimally small pause between the in-breath and the out-breath, that very point of balance where so much happens. Let us explain. As we told you in an earlier missive, you have truly entered the fast lane now, and so, each day and in every way you are being propelled forward at an ever-increasing speed. Again, this may lead to all sorts of confusion and bewilderment as you try unsuccessfully to keep track of it all, but again, this is not something you need to concern yourself with. For you are not here to understand it, that is, in the sense of a human mind grasping all of the intricate details this complex process is all about. For all you need to do, is to go with the flow in every sense of the word. This in itself may sound like a somewhat simplified answer to all of this, but again, you are here to do something that is inexplicable to a human brain, but comes naturally to that eternal part of you that is also part of the mastermind behind this seemingly convoluted arrangement, all done with the same purpose, to shift the entirety of humanity once and for all away from the old and delusional ideas of survival. For what mankind has been forced to abide by for such a long time now, are laws that has kept them away from the truth, but now, as you have all chosen to step fully into this wide and ever-increasing river of light, you have also chosen the destiny of mankind to change, from one end of the scale and all across the board to a very new one that is not shrouded in darkness anymore, but fully lit by the benevolent beams of the universal light that lies at the core of everything in existence. Again, what we bring you through these messages will not be news to any of you, they will simply be externalized in this form so that your own internal information center can better resume these long-forgotten truths from within. You see, we cannot tell you anything new at all, for you already know fully well what we are trying to convey to you, but as you also know, this truth has been shrouded in a dark mist for eons, and so, what may seem to be a new discovery of unknown dimensional levels within is simply a rediscovery of something you are all more than familiar with. Still, this process of re-emergence is not one that can be accomplished at the drop of a hat, and that too is something you have all become well and truly acquainted with over these last few days, weeks, months and years. For where you are standing today, is simply the pinnacle of a process that was started a long, long time ago, way back in the early history of mankind, when the dark shroud hung low and obscured every kind of view there was. And then, you started to come in, through lifetime after lifetime, with one express task, to heighten the light quotient on this planet sufficiently so that the next step of this long and arduous process could come into being. For as we have told you before, this seeding of light has been a long time coming, and just like with everything that comes into life in the manifest world, it takes time from seeding to sprouting to full growth. Well, this has taken its time, and for many, it seems to be an overly long one, but again, this is indeed the age of blossoming, when mankind finally will come into full bloom, shining in all of their splendor and glory, and the dark ages will become a faint memory that will start to dissipate into the back of your minds for then to vanish completely. This is not a fairy tale we tell you in order to put you to sleep and forget about your troubles and your toil. This is simply a reminder that you are not here by accident, for you are here to finally fulfill the quest that was started many a generation ago, by shining souls such as yours, with the same goal, but with a much less rewarding outcome, if you look at this from the perspective of one single lifetime. For unlike your predecessors, you will see the result coming into fruition during one single lifetime, and what you have accomplished so far, has proved beyond any doubts whatsoever that you have already achieved that accomplishment. Granted, there are still many a task to fulfill before you can sit back, relax, and simply survey all of this splendor we talk about, but again, these tasks are what you are already tackling with a renewed fervor. For even if your mind and indeed your physical body may seem to be overly exhausted and even less than enthusiastic at the moment, especially at the prospect of even more work looming on the horizon, We also know that your heart is singing with joy whenever it connects with these threads of light that will guide you in your continued efforts. For this is indeed a labor of love, in every sense of the word, and even if you think you would like nothing more than a long vacation, devoid of anything that even resembles energetic endeavors, you also know deep inside that you would not be without this deep involvement in the tasks at hand. For that is why you are here, to make these things come into being, to knit together thread after thread of enlightened effort into a shimmering garment of light that will envelop this entire planet, making her shine with all of her inherent qualities yet again, finally liberated from everything that has been dimming them down and covering up their power and beauty. For you are here to work, but for you, this work will more and more turn into play, as you unleash your creative powers in such a way, no man or mind can stand between you and creation. For you will sing this world into being once again, as you lift your voices up with these energetic waves of light that are gathering strength even as we speak, and one by one you will add your untiring voices to this earthly choir that will make the heavens stir and set so much into motion. It will unravel the old and weave the new at a speed that will literally take your breath away. Again, what we bring you through these missives are not just words that will be reused and reinvented again and again, just like scraps of cloth being resewn and reshaped into brand new garments. For these words are merely the outside coloring of a far more important internal process, one that goes directly between you and Source, one that is not in need of words, one that goes on 24/7 at a level that you so far only have gotten a few glimpses of. But these words act as that outside signpost of what is going on within, for they can serve to light the way whenever you turn an unexpected corner and think you have come to an impasse or taken a wrong turn. For still, you are also humans, and as humans, you need reassurance, in the form of words and in the form of something tangible that you can take to heart and discuss with others, and this in turn will help to realign you with others on this same path. For the energetic signature that these messages carry, is one that will resonate with a number of people on this planet today, and so, this vibration will serve to pull you all closer together in ways that will help each and every one of you to fulfill your part of this complex process. For this is indeed a collective effort, and what you are taking on as singular entities is simply one piece of a gigantic puzzle, and in order for you to fulfill your task, you need to be connected in the right way with the right people. And this is where these messages serve their highest purpose. For you can look upon them as a homing signal being sent out, a signal that will speak to those amongst you who have a common cause in this huge operation, and who have been called to reunite in this lifetime. For you are indeed old souls, and you are also old acquaintances as we have mentioned before, and now, you have been called to step forward and to light up your light to such a degree, it cannot be overlooked anymore. And as you step forward, you also step into the circle of light that has been called to gather here, and as you step forward, you also help to send out the call to all the others out there still waiting for their signal to step out and into the light. Remember, you are the forerunners, the pioneers, but you are also the ones that will help to fan the flames in thousands upon thousands of others, in a well-orchestrated sequence that is far, far beyond the point of no return now. So again we say, look upon these messages as a call for action, and know that the action we refer to, is the one that is taking place within you at all times now, even if the details of it may still be mostly hidden from view from most of you. But for some, it is already starting to become tangible in various ways, and for them, the task is also to share it, in the way of words. And this is the second task of these messages, to help you to see your own process more clearly, and through that, find a way to enlighten your fellow journeyers in such a way, they in turn can do the same for others. For words are still necessary, even if you are not required to fully understand or indeed describe all of the shifts and changes taking place internally and indeed externally. You know this already, but you also know that your human side needs reassurance, and it needs to feel the connectivity in a way that is easier to take into account than a mere sense of energetic connection and communication, and so, words like these will still be a part of this process. So again we say thank you for all that you are and for all that you do, And we thank those of you who have been given the task of translating your acquired insights into words so that your voice can act as a helping hand for your brethren. Remember, even if this journey is a very individual one, it is also one that you need to take as a part of a collective, for it is through your collective efforts that this creational masterpiece will come into being. And so it will continue to grow, as you keep breathing it in, and exhaling it out, in the form of action, in the form of words, and in the form of simply being the change you came here to accomplish. The Constant Companions. Channeled by Asia North. asianorth.wordpress.com